Hello friends, welcome back to the next session on operations planning, scheduling and control. Now let's begin with our learning. In this particular session, we'll be understanding and dealing with the concept of repair capabilities, the learning objectives. At the end of this particular session, the learners will be able to understand what do we mean by repairing capabilities, what are the various concepts as to the repair capabilities in operations management, and describe the repair capability components in detail. Now let's first understand what do we mean by the repair capabilities. Repair capabilities, it means for maintenance, repairing and operating or operations of the refers to the purchases that a business must make in order to keep its operations business running properly. So repair capabilities are the consideration which an organization has been undertaken for their upkeep, maintenance of goods, services, commodities, and the day-to-day operational activities in a business organization or in manufacturing unit. Repair capabilities, it focuses on what amount of goods, service, and commodities we need to purchase that a business must make in order to make its operations running. So for an upkeep maintenance, for a continuous running of those operations in the business organization, what activities we initiate and how those activities are being planned are the concept of repair capabilities. As a part of an MRO, that is a representatives, products have a huge influence on a company's efficiency and bottom line. So despite the fact that the word isn't often utilized is most business circles. So we must have a proper control on the company's efficiency, the bottom line, the control of the goods, services, products, and commodities, and so on. And hence, a proper consideration must be provided for the business circles and how do we control or how do we have the various repair capabilities for a certain product. Now let's understand what the four types of major maintenance activities that are undertaken. The first type of repair capability or the maintenance is corrective maintenance. The second is the preventive maintenance. The third is the risk-based maintenance. And the fourth is the condition-based maintenance. So in case of an corrective maintenance, the various initiatives or the measures have been taken on the basis of corrections or on the basis of observations that we have. So on the corrections, the various suggestions that have been provided, we go ahead and we have the various implementation processes of maintenance that needs to be taken for the repair capability. In case of an preventive maintenance, on the basis of our previous learning, on the basis of our previous experiences, on the basis of usage or of familiarity with the particular machinery, the preventive maintenance is being undertaken. So you have a pre-knowledge as to how the maintenance is being required and what measure or steps that needs to be undertaken for a part of maintenance. And that's the concept of preventive maintenance. On the basis of risk-based maintenance, such type of maintenance which have been realized at a certain stages and a point of time, and we must be very alert, very cautious as a part of a risk-based maintenance. And while operating a certain activity or a certain machine, we may observe that there are various risks that have been associated for the wastage for a certain product or for a human risk or for other risks that have been associated. So risk-based maintenance is a maintenance which has been undertaken on an ongoing, on a continual basis, which may occur or which may not occur, or which may happen or which may not happen. The condition-based maintenance. So on the condition-based maintenance is a scenario wherein when a certain condition arises or if a certain situation is taken into account, then a particular maintenance is being required, or if a situation does not happen, then the condition-based maintenance will not be required. So this is the other fourth type of maintenance in which the condition may be fulfilled or may not be fulfilled, and the maintenance capability may be required or may not be required. Now let's understand what the various terminologies in the order closure. So the various terminology in the order closure are repairing as well as maintaining what you are already having and how do you allow to spend your money. So repairing as experience in order to itself that how do you look at a certain perception and consideration, and the satisfaction of the customers is at most importance. The repair capabilities focuses on when we close a particular order, that particular order should have a proper considerable impact on placing a certain product at the right time at the right place, and how do we deliver those products to the customers. Now let's understand what the various 6 maintenance strategies that can be used. So the various 6 maintenance strategies are reactive, that is running towards the failure. The second is the predetermined maintenance, that is we have a proper set of series and procedural activities, and on those particular basis, we can predetermine as to how maintenance activity can be undertaken in the business organization. The next, third step is the preventive maintenance, that is we have a certain preventions, we have a certain measures that needs to be undertaken, and on those particular measures or on the basis of preventions, the maintenance activities can be implemented in the business organizations. The next type of maintenance is the corrective maintenance, that is on the basis of certain corrections, certain learnings, we try to implement those particular strategies and the maintenance in the business organization or a particular machinery can be undertaken. The condition-based maintenance also as per the terms and conditions that changes as per the requirements or need of a particular R. The condition-based maintenance strategies can be implemented or it can be incorporated in the day-to-day routine activities. And lastly, the concept of predictive maintenance strategy. So in case of predictive maintenance strategy, you have certain predictions on which basis you have a certain knowledge as to what maintenance strategies can be implemented, how changes need to be implemented, and what stages or steps may arise in the short run as well as in the long run. Now let's understand what are the various types of repair that can be required in case of an repair capability. So the repair as a part of an resin injection, the semi-structured plug, the patch method, and the structural mechanically are the various types of repairs that can be undertaken in case of an repair capability. So resin injection, semi-structured patch method, and structural mechanically are the consideration that can be understood in which, as per the production activity, as per the level of production, or how does it changes, any type of repair activity can be undertaken and the business operations can be conducted in a very better and effective way. Now let's understand what are the various steps that have been associated for the repair capability. First thing, it allows for more cost-effective working approaches in the company, and it is always trying to save the cost in the business organization. So when we need to save a certain cost in business organization, we must have a positive approach, and a working approach is always essentially required for a better considerable requirement of steps that needs to be taken for the control of activities and operations in the business organization in the short run as well as in the long run. So a positive approach and cost saving consideration is essentially required. It boosts the company's productivity. So it helps to increase the company's productivity on the basis of when we create or when we repair the machines, machinery, material at the frequency level, then the company's productivity is being boosted at the simultaneous level. And hence, boosting of company's productivity at the simultaneous level is essentially important, and it can be undertaken at all the levels or at all the stages. It aids in the management of the health and safety rules in compliances with the industry standards. So whatever industry standards that have been provided with respect to the management of health and safety considerations, all those features have been fulfilled, they have been concised, and on the basis of industry standards, various implementation of strategies can be undertaken. And lastly, the step that can be undertaken is extending the life of a company's assets. So increasing the life of assets of a certain company is essentially required because it is a long-term perspective. It is a huge investment that the organization has been made. And when it is an investment, it must be always fruitful. It must be a revenue generative type of an investment, and it must have a proper, better results that needs to be created. So repairs and repair capabilities essentially needs to be undertaken when we have a proper consideration as to the repair capability. The asset life of a certain machinery increases, and accordingly, it creates a better understanding or better productivity level for a certain product. Now let's understand how we can improve the maintenance. So learning the 12 elements of effective reliability management, we can improve the maintenance in a very better way and a very better consideration required. Tracking the maintenance metrics. So whatever maintenance metrics are implemented, they have been used. We need to properly and regularly track the maintenance metrics. Employing the maintenance planning and scheduling. So we must have a proper plan and schedule, and we must employ the maintenance planning and schedule as to effective planning of goods and services, effective implementation of the strategic planning, and how do we have a proper repair maintenance schedules. So repair schedule that has been prepared, and capability enhancement techniques that needs to be employed should be considered, and accordingly, the planning and scheduling activities must be considered. Consider an operator-driven reliability program. So we must have a proper operator-driven reliability program, which focuses or considers about how those activities can be undertaken, and we can have a proper reliability program as to the better profit situation that can be considered in the business organization. Improving the basics work system. So whatever work system that we have, we must always improve the basic work system as to the availability of factors, availability of features, of factors of production, features and environment, work culture, basic essential of clothing, etiquettes, and so on must be there in a business organization. Using a joint reward system to drive the results. So whatever joint reward system that is made applicable, we must have a proper reward system as to how we can create a better results in the business organization, and each and every member or the participants of the maintenance system or the repair capability system will be rewarded as and when the time arises. And lastly, constructing your maintenance plans. You must have a proper maintenance plan, and simultaneously when a maintenance plan is being prepared, we must try to implement that particular plan, and better results must also be rewarded and must be observed and calculated on the basis of plan that has been implemented. Now let's understand what are the various team consideration questions in repair capability. What went particularly well? What were the difficulties or the setbacks? How effective was the team's communication? Click more or more actions icon and select the line items. And lastly, were the findings satisfactory to the clients in association with in the future initiatives? What should we change or what should we improve? So these are the various team consideration questions which the team or individual must ask to all the members or the participants about how the organization can perform in a better way, and how a particular activity can be performed or it can be assessed in business organization as to its profitability at its operational level and so on. So repairing, but instead maintaining what you already have done allows you to spend your money on more enjoyable items, and it makes your life more happier and easier in the short run as well as in the long run. So repairing an expansion in and itself, and one that you can look back on this satisfaction and maybe some pride. So repairing is essentially required, and an organization must have a continuous activity or a series of or a flow of activities of repairing the activities in the long run as well as in the short run. So now let's summarize what we have learned in this particular session. In this particular session, we have understood and we have learned about what do we mean by the concept of repair capabilities, which planning is required in case of repair capabilities, and how do we implement the repair capabilities in the business organization. I hope you must have enjoyed the learning in this particular session. We'll stay connected and we'll continue with our learning. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Thank you.